Hey, sorry everyone. I'm at an in-laws house and the Wi-Fi is really slow. I'm so sorry for the delay. Usually I'm hooked up to Ethernet, so it's not a stab at my in-laws. I usually just have Ethernet plugged in, so I'm using a phone for the data right now. And thankfully I've got 12 gigs to burn through. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really apologize if anyone is left the room. But thank you for joining me. If you have not already, please go to the printables in the top right corner for today's class. And today will be really fun. I spent too long putting this together, but I think you'll get a lot out of it. And I really hope you enjoy today. So let's first tune up, make sure that we're good to go there. Can everybody hear me? You can just say hi in the chat box, and you can let me know if you're able to hear everything going down. G, C, E, A. Hi Karen, hi Bill. You're still on the line. Thank you. Thank you for sticking with me today. Yay, Maddie, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. I'm so excited to have you guys here today. So you guys are probably going to learn a lot, I think. And if you don't get everything in today, that is totally fine. Valerie, thank you for attending today. Great. So I'm going to tell you the order of the pages that you need, and you don't have to print these out, but you can have them up on your browser separately. So the first thing I would pull out after you've downloaded them or print out is I would put the outline first. So there's 2 pages of the outline. Let's have that first. All right. The next page that I'd like you to have out is the song Baby Won't You Please Come Home. Okay, now this is also in the Uke book. And if you'd like to use that one, you can. I will tell you that there are some chords that I couldn't put on here because Noteflight wouldn't let me do alternate chords. So if you do have the book, I would pull that up. If not, you can still use Baby Won't You Please Come Home, the one that I wrote. And if not, I'll still show you those chords as we go. Yay! It's an all-time high. I've got 7 people in the room. Yay! It's going up every single week. So it's great. The next page that I'd like you to have is the dipping and lifting uke exercises. And it's actually green and red. It's color-coded. So if you can print it in color, that would be great. If not, you can just keep it up in your browser. And lastly, but not least, you've got some chords that you can move around, dip and lift, right? All right. Okay, Valerie, the printables, I hope that you can see this, but there's a live chat. The very top live chat that's written, it says, hello everyone, thank you for attending today. Here are today's printables. You'll find that at the very top. It's a drive.google.com folder. Hopefully that you can find that, and I'll wait until you see that. If not, I'll just go ahead and post it here right now again, so it's current. Copy link, and here it is. I just sent it up on the chat again. Okay, so hopefully that's a little bit easier to find. I will also go. I'm planning on going about 30 minutes, so we'll probably end at about 3:45. If not before then, you'll know why. But 12 gigs should hopefully hold us over for a little while. I don't think live chat videos are very big. I'm just using my webcam for today. So did that work for you, Valerie? Were you able to find the printables? Okay, so if you have not already, let's tune up, and I'll get my pages in order, like where they were before. All right, I'm looking forward to today. Today will be really fun. So the song that I wanted to do today to start off with is Beautiful Brown Eyes. Yay, good, Valerie. Beautiful Brown Eyes, that is the 24th day song, okay? Now I changed the words a little bit, and those words are on the printout. It's on the first page. I put the chords above the words at first. Now I didn't write it on the rest because I was trying to finish it all on one page. Oh, sorry, Bill. Sorry about the printables. But you do have your yellow book, and you could probably do everything with the yellow book today. So All the chords on Beautiful Brown Eyes, if you're looking at the outline, will follow the page down. So all you need to know is D, G, A7, and that's the entire song, okay? So that's our D chord. You can also do it 3 fingers. All right. I recommend if you can do 1 finger, do 1 finger, but it's okay if you can't. It's just faster. I'm going to move this down so you can see my hands better. So if it's a D, we'll have a G, all right? G and A7. All right, and that is basically all. So there's a few ways, there's 3 ways that you can play this today that I'm going to offer to you. You can do a single strum per measure. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. I'll never love blue eyes again. That's the simplest way to do it. If you want to strum it a little bit faster, you can do 3 strums per measure or big beat. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. You get the idea? If you're more advanced, intermediate advanced, I would recommend throwing in some 8th notes in there. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1. It would sound like this. Beautiful. Let's try it again. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. I'll never love blue eyes again. All right. So, before we get into the song, I will go on ahead and say the yellow book has. I try to use as many of the same words as possible, but I just change the gender roles just because I'm singing it and it wouldn't make too much sense the way it was written before. The only other thing on the verses, I'm probably going to finger pick those, and I invite you to do the same thing. Okay, so on what am I strumming? Okay, so I either had a single down for each measure, or we 3 downs, or we had down, down, up, down, up, down. And maybe you're asking about the instrument, but this is a Fender Jazzmaster ukulele, and it's electric, but I've actually never plugged it in yet. I have the capabilities, but I haven't really used that so much. So, sorry. On the finger picking part, some of you may be familiar with, some of you may not be, but at the very top of the outline it says PIMA MIP. What I mean by that is thumb, plectrum, indiso, index finger, middle, and indice, which is the ring finger. Okay, and I'll show you that pattern real quick. So if you're on a D chord, there, let's move this down. If you're on a D chord, you're going to start with your thumb, just like that, ceiling to the floor. So I'll show you that. Beautiful. So I'll do verse 1. 1, 2, 3, go to. Molly, my darling, I love you with all of my heart. Tomorrow we might have been married, but drinking has kept us apart. Okay, sorry about the little mistake there. I thought this was a sea shanty at first because it sounds like it could be. It totally could be, and if I had a pirate hat, I may have done a sea shanty version of this today. But it turns out this song is a old country song by a few brothers, and it's really, really sad. The speed that they're going at is like, oh, it's such a sad song, and the words are a little bit different. I think it's like the Brothers 4 or something like that. Somebody can correct me if you'd like, but you can find that on YouTube as well. So let's give this a go. This will be today's video, and I'll include this on the playlist so you can strum it along with me. Does anybody have any questions about this before we start? We're going to do the chorus, which is first, or the refrain. We're going to play verse 1, chorus or refrain. Verse 2, chorus, refrain, and verse 3, chorus, refrain. And that's how we're going to end that. All right, let's give it a go. Here we go, and you don't have to play it perfectly. I'm the one on the spot, so if I mess up, you can laugh at me. Here we go. Count you out here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Beautiful, beautiful Molly, my darling, I love you with all of my heart. Tomorrow we might have been married, but drinking has kept us apart. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. I'll never love blue eyes again. Finger pick. Down to the barroom she staggered and fell at the floor. The very last word she uttered, I'll never get drunk anymore. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. I'll never love blue eyes again. Verse 3. 7 long years I've been married. I wish I was single once more. A man never knows of his troubles until he has married a boy. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. I'll never love blue eyes again. Hey, all notes for music. Hey, all notes for music. I didn't mean what I said in the lyrics. I promise. Hey, PK, thanks for the compliments. I think I ate some of the lyrics on the verse 2. So if you see that, I was wrong. That's why I laughed in the middle of it. Hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. So today's song is in the books. I'll put a timestamp on this so that we can you can find this if you want to play it back again. Hopefully that made sense to you. Thanks for entertaining me with Beautiful Brown Eyes. Now, the next part of the class really has nothing to do with this, but how many people are familiar with dips and lifts on ukulele, or moving your chords around? I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Aw, loves me no matter what. That's sweet. Okay. All Notes for Music is my wife, by the way. Okay, that's Laura. So let me give an example. So if you have a D7, right? If we were to move that down a step, you can dips and lifts, L-I-F-T-S. Yeah. So a dip is when you move down. You move a chord shape down, you don't even lift up, you just slide down on the strings themselves, okay? You can also go up, but most of the time, songs sound a little bit better if you move around going down from the chord that you're on currently, all right? So let's take a look at Baby Won't You Please Come Home, and I've got a couple of versions of that out. I'll pull up the outline that I've got back again here in a little bit. Now let's take a look at this page. The one that I wrote, I will go on ahead and tell you, I was on Noteflight. Is anyone familiar with Noteflight? And say yes or no. Noteflight is a website. Oh, great, PK, awesome. Noteflight is a website where you can write music, and it's not very expensive, but it's an alternative to Sibelius or Finale. But I found out today that you can actually put ukulele chords in there, which I thought was cool, but it didn't always do the chords that I wanted. And I actually asked them. No one on the internet has asked Noteflight how to put in the alternate chords. I know it is possible, but they didn't actually say very easily how to change. For instance, D7 they wanted was like this, but I wanted the Hawaiian D7. So that's why in the second measure I put HI D7, Hawaiian D7. Okay. Now if you're in the if you are in the yellow book, let's find what page that's on. Let's see, Baby Love. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, this is page 29 in the yellow book, and you'll see at the very top of the page when you do a D7, it's going to be the Hawaiian D7. All right. So you'll see that. Occasionally we'll go to that. I'm going to play through the song first, and you can join me if you like. I'll try to do it as simply as I can. The only other weird chords in here that aren't listed is the B dim. And B dim is be diminished, and that's the same as it is on the page in the book. So you basically have to bar. You can bar it this way and throw your middle here and ring here. That's one way to do it. Okay. Or you could use all 4 fingers, pointer, ring, middle, pinky. That's another way to do it, but to me that's way too slow. I can't do that very easily. So I just opt to do the bar chord. If you can't make that chord, I understand. Just skip it. The only other thing that's not on the yellow book page is on that same measure where the B dim is, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th line down. I'm putting a little fermata. Fermata just means give it a little time, then we'll jump in on the F chord after that. Okay. Correction, go down a line on the D7. That's where I'm putting the fermata. I'm full of mistakes today. Okay, so the very, very last line, Daddy needs money. I changed money, mama to money. That's a fermata, and then we'll go on out from there. Okay, any other weird chords that aren't in the song? I don't think so. All right, let's give it a go. And I'm not going to do it with dips this time. I'm just going to play it pretty straight. I will play through the first 2 lines and just the chords, and then we'll go into the song. Okay, you can do. That's a good way to do it, or you can do mutes. So it'd be just like that. However you want to do it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. C7. To the top. Baby, won't you please come home? 'Cause your papa's all alone. I have tried in vain, never to more to call your name. When you left, you broke my heart, because I never thought we'd part. Every hour in the day, you will hear me say, baby, won't you please come home? Daddy needs money. Ready, go. Baby, won't you please come home? Something like that. All right, that's all good. That's all good and fine. Even if you just did single strums, that's fine. If you want to do the sliding around, I would probably recommend trying to do down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up in the first measure like this. Because where you're going to place the dips and lifts are going to be inside of there somewhere. Okay? Let's pause on this page. We're going to learn about dips and lifts right now by turning the page to dipping and lifting uke exercises. Okay? We will come right back to that, and we're going to apply what we learned in the dipping and lifting to this page. So PK, this is for you, buddy. Or gal, I'm not sure. Could be either way. So let's go to the very beginning. So dipping and lifting uke exercises. We've got a D7. Okay. I like to do my D7s with my middle on top and my ring underneath that, because usually it goes to G7s oftentimes. So you might find some other books like, let's just say, the Booster Uke book does this. I really recommend middle on top and ring here. Okay, so that's D7. And on this page, the red notes are dips. Dips are going down. Okay, and then greens are going up. So I was thinking green go forward, right? This is just one way that you can write how to practice dips. So I'll give you an example. I'll play the very beginning. All right, this is the first 2 measures. Something like that, right? And that's the same rhythm that you have on the entire page. We're going to do that for a total of 2 times, I guess, right? Let's go to the beginning. Let's try it again. 1, 2, here we go. Same thing. Now let's do the opposite. Now I want to know what this sounds like. You might go, "Oh, that sounds terrible," but there are going to be some times where you could do lifts and it would sound good. All right, so let's try measure 5. Just to do the opposite. Just slide up a step. 1, 2, same thing, up. So that is the first 2 lines. What do you think? The downs sound a little kinder, don't they? Yeah, the one going up is like, ooh. All right, let's check out G7 for a second. G7, I think a lot of people know this one already, I hope. It's like this, right? Middle, pointer, ring. All right. And then how you can dip that one, you can actually leave your finger down even if it touches the nut. Right, even if it's on there, you can still keep it on there. It just won't be in contact with a fret itself. All right. So let's check out the G7. Again, we're just sliding. We're not lifting our fingers off. Here we go. Dip it. Measure 9. 1, 2. Here we go. Okay, something like that. Let's try going up. Let's see what it sounds like. 1, 2. Here's up. All right, if everyone's good to go on, let's try F6. All right, now F6, if you're not sure what F6 is, it's actually called a lot of different things. I should have named it on my last page of the printouts. But if you find on the next handout, it says some chords you can dip/lift. Find the last chord that's written there, which is D minor 7. All right, that actually is F6 as well. So a lot of chords are actually, they have many names. It just depends on the key that you're in of something, usually. So find 5, fret 5. Usually if your uke has dots on it, it's going to be the first dot, which is fret 5. All right. So if you have trouble barring chords, I want you to try a bunch of different things, but you can take your finger all the way up here. That's usually a little bit easier because the harder part of your finger is down here. Or if you've got enough pinching finger strength, you can just use these 2. Or if you need a little buddy, you need a little helper, go ahead and use your middle finger on top of your pointer finger. Should sound like this. This sounds very jazzy. All right, so that is either a D minor 7 or an F6. Okay, let's try F6. Now we're back. Those that didn't print it out, you're like, man, can you just stay on a page already? All right. So we've got F6, and we're going to dip it and lift it. We're going to run fret 5. 1, 2. Here we go. Right? Sound like jazz to you? Sounds like jazz to me. Let's do the last line, which is just going up. We're just sliding that up. 1, 2. Here we go. Right. Cool. Hopefully y'all made it through that. Now, how did I know it was F6? Okay, so no one asked the question, but it's actually really, really simple. The ukulele, if you just do that, that's a chord, right? It could be called different things. Does anyone know the name of this chord? You can write it in the chat box if you like. Its notes are C, E, G, and A. Sorry, C. I'm doing it upside down. C, E, G, A. Everyone's like, this guy doesn't even know his note string names. I was looking at the screen. It was upside down. Yes. Thank you. We are going to do that here in a second on Nuts for Music. We're going to throw it into Baby Won't You Please Come Home. That's the whole point of the thing today. So we just did some chords on the worksheet, and then we're going to apply them in the song. Okay? So hold your horses. We got another 15 minutes or 10 minutes or so. Just kidding. All right. So good guess. Yeah, A minor 7. That's good. All right, that's one. Another one is C6. Usually we refer to this instrument as being the key of C by itself, okay? So most of the time you're going to see it as a C6. Now, If you had a good, yes, right. So you got C6. If you're on a piano, it's a lot easier to see. C sharp 6, D6, D sharp 6, E6, F6. So you just count up. It does really help to have a piano in front of you and know the note names on there, but that's an F6. And we actually have that at the end. We could do that at the very end of Baby Won't You Please Come Home. So remember that. I want you to pull out that page now. Baby Won't You Please Come Home. Now we are going to apply what we learned on the sheet, on the worksheet, to the song itself. Let's go measure by measure. Okay, so maybe some of you know this, some of you don't know this, but I'm a percussionist by training. I went to school for music, drums, percussion, and then I got kind of absorbed into this guitar at first, and then later, much later, ukulele. So my take on when to do dips and lifts is going to be, that's going to be my opinion on where to place them in this song. So you want to do your dips and lifts in places where the lyrics aren't going, because you don't want to take away from the singer, right? If there's a band on the bandstand and there's a singer, you better not step on that singer's toes. Okay, and that's a good way to remember things. So a great place to do the first dip is going to be the second measure. Okay, let me play it for you and see if you can get an idea of this. All right, so here's the first two measures. Baby, won't you please come home? You hear it? Now I said home, but there were no other words in that measure, right? So it just kind of helps move the music along. It kind of makes the music dance on its own, right? I'm sorry, I missed PK. I missed somebody. Can you do a triple strum? Can you strum a triplet strum? Yes, I can, Karen. I'm so sorry I missed you on that one. I think you mean by triplet strum. You can definitely do it in this song too, because we're playing with a swing. So triplet strum, I think what you're asking me is, so it'd be pointer, middle, pointer. Oh, in the first song. Yes, you could definitely do that in Beautiful Brown Eyes. I think, let's see, take a little side step here. Let's see, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Or you can do it slow for sure. Let's see. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. Now the strumming pattern, da 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 da. There is some variation possible to do the triple strum with that. If it were me though, I would just stick with down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. To me, it's just a lot easier. I usually use triplet strums in places that feel comfortable, or if I don't know. Yeah, if I'm feeling fancy and I want to be able to show off a little bit and like, check this out. I'm not saying there isn't a way to do that with down, down, up, down, up. I'd have to practice and show it to you later. So cool. Great, Karen. Thanks for the question. I appreciate it. Did I miss any other questions? This is cool. Got to see how I can apply this technique to other songs now. Yeah, great. Awesome. I found that it works really well in jazz for sure. So, all right. So let's keep going here. So we had the first two measures. There's a dip, and I believe I did it on the between 2 and beat 3. So I'll do it one more time. The first two measures of Baby Won't You Please Come Home. 1, 2, and. Yeah, 2 and is where I'm putting the first one. Now let's take a look at the G7 measure, the third and the fourth measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Oh, awesome, great, PK. I'm glad you're getting a lot out of this. I'm putting the same dip on beat 2 of the fourth measure on after alone. Alone. Give you that measure, sing me in, okay? 'Cause your papa's all alone. Cool, something like that. Let's try the first two measures. If you know how to do down ups, I would definitely recommend doing it. You don't have to add the chucks and stuff like that. But let's try it. Down, up, down, up, down, up. A 1, a 2 with dips and go. All right, now I'll sing it so you can hear how it goes with the words. 1, 2, 3. Baby, won't you please come home? 'Cause your papa's all alone. Oh, and then you can add the chucks if you want. Add the chucks on 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Baby, won't you please come home? 'Cause your papa's all alone. Oh, are there any places for dips in the 5th through 8th measure? Let's check it out. Let's see. I have tried in vain, never to more to call your name. All right, for me, no. I wouldn't, except for one spot, and it's not really a dip. It's kind of a cheat. Okay, so the measure 6, this kind of breaks the rules. The D minor, I like removing the pointer finger. I believe that it makes it a suspended chord. sus2. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'll give you an example with 1, 2, and I'm going to do it on beat 2 as well. I'm going to let go with the pointer finger. Okay, let's try from measure 5. I have tried in vain. 1, 2, ready, go. I have tried in vain, never to more to call your name. Cool. And then the 3rd line down is the same as the top, right? I would do it exactly the same way on that line. 1, 2, 3rd line, and go. When you left, you broke my heart, because I never thought we'd part. Okay, the 3rd measure is different, isn't it? G minor 7. All right, now I'm not going to tell you dips on measure 13, but I am going to give you a tip that I learned as I was learning this. So B flat chord is here. Okay, all right, PK, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. I hope you got the printables and can check it out. This video will be up on my YouTube page, so you can find it. All right, so B flat's here. Now, if you have the book and you have the D or B diminished chord in front of you, which one of these fingers can stay without moving anywhere to get to the B dim? Which finger? The ring finger, the middle, or the pointer? Any guesses? Actually, that might be a trick question. That's a trick question, kind of. Okay, I'll go ahead and tell you the middle finger is absolutely the one can stay put. Watch, lift it off. I'm going to put my pointer finger down and my ring, and that's me barring that chord. Okay, so if you were trying to do, if you had trouble like me at first with doing diminished chords on the ukulele, find an anchor finger that can stay put between the chord you came from and the chord you're going to when you're doing diminished chords. Okay, let me explain that one more time. I'm on a B flat chord every hour. Then I'm going to leave my middle down. I'm going to flatten my pointer finger and add my ring every day, just like that. That's really good advice. I promise you, because I practiced this over and over again. And it's like, finally, I found a good way. B dim. Okay, and then we go to F. You can hear me say, baby, won't you please come home? Daddy needs money. Baby, won't you please come home? Okay. All right. So for the time that you have a measure that changes chords, I wouldn't worry about dipping it because we're changing chords so often that the music is interesting enough. I think I wouldn't put dips in every single measure of this because it would just be overboard. The singer would be like, hey, you on the uke, chill it out over there. They're supposed to be watching me, not you. Right? Okay. So the very last thing, and I talked about this before, the F6. So you could replace the last F chord with an F6. Right? And I actually did this in the video. I learned a really cool trick from Ben's Ukulele Trips. I'm giving you a shout out there, buddy. He's on YouTube, and I followed him for a little while on Patreon. But he had this song that's called the Cagford. Does anyone know what the Cagford song is? CAGFD. Anyone? What's the cag foot? It's also related to the caged method of guitar. So this will help you unlock your frets. But basically, so if you know what a let's see, if you know what an I'll give you the breakdown really quick. So here's a C chord, right? Now, do you know what an A chord looks like, just off the top of your head? A chord, A chord, A chord, ready to go. It looks like this, right? You'll know that it's related to the B flat chord, right? Because what happens when I move that chord up? It goes, there's B flat, right? Right? So what happens if I move it up again? I'm on a B natural, right? Now I'm on an A, no, I'm on a C chord, sorry. B flat, B, C, right? So where I'm getting to is the Cagfoot song tells you how you can move around your chords on the neck, and it'll give you usually around 5 different ways to play each chord. Head explodes. Okay, so C chord, right? Cag, C, A. Make an A chord, and see if you can get this sound with that A chord. So you're going to move it up the neck. Doesn't this sound like this? It's just a little bit voiced. It's voiced a little bit differently. Let's go one more step with that. C, A, G. What does a G shape look like? It looks like this. Am I correct? Right? How can you move this up the neck to get a C sounding shape? Let's find out. See if I can do this. Let's see. Cagfoot. So we had this one. And then we need to find a G shape. I went off on a tangent. It should sound like that. That doesn't sound. There we go. There's our G shape that we need. Okay. Sorry for going off on a tangent. But anyway, how I figured out the F chord at the end is just moving around those chords to get it to there, to the F. So let's replace that last F chord with an F6. All right. And let's go through the entire song, and I think that will take us up to time. I have an idea for next week. What I want to do is I want to do a week in review. And I'll ask you guys too, what was one of your favorite songs that we did this week? And let me look and see which ones that I posted this week. And you can tell me which one you like the best, because I'm trying to get an idea of songs that you guys like the most. I actually didn't know I would like doing lullabies so much. So that's been a lot of fun. So let's see, today's the 24th. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we started the week with Baby Love with Baby Yoda. We had Baby Won't You Please Come Home on Tuesday, I think, with Josue Melody. I'm going to butcher his last name. Josue on piano. Bad Bad Leroy Brown. I had the old 1920s look for Babyface. Babyface. What else did we do? We did Battle Hymn of the Republic and Beautiful Dreamer yesterday. So which one of those were your all's favorites? You can write that in the chat box. And we'll get prepared to do a run through of Baby Won't You Please Come Home. With all the goodies, with the dips. No lifts. I didn't do any lifts in this one. Battle Hymn. Yeah, Battle Hymn. 1 vote. Because of the axe. Yeah, if you haven't seen Battle Hymn, I chop wood for our fireplace, and I usually chop wood in our stove or our fireplace. Karen, question. For B flat to B dim, can I hear the entire first fret of B flat and only move the index finger? Let's see. B flat to B dim. Okay, I gotcha. Here's the B flat. Can I bar the entire first fret of B flat? Yes, you are correct. You can do that, but move the index finger. Yes, you can. You are correct. You can do that. That's a less movement. It just takes a little bit more preparation with getting your finger in the right place. You guys want to see my dog real quick? He's crying at the door. I think you might want to see him. Hold on. Come here, buddy. Hi. This is Sam. Say hi, Sam. Yay! This is our son, our canine son. You probably can't hear me because the mic's not on here. He says hi. He supports me. All right. So Maddie says, "Baby love." I don't know. I can't choose. Would you be my neighbor? Oh yeah, I forgot. I did post some other songs too. You'll find on the YouTube page some backlisted songs. So, well, thank you so much. Great. So let's go through "Baby, Won't You Please Come Home." Let's give it a go. However you want to play it is fine. If you're totally like pretty new to some of these chords, I would definitely stick with the just quarter notes as you're going through the song. But that was a really great question, Karen, about the going B flat to B dim. Yeah, all that's for music. What's your question? Do you have a question? Real quick. How do you do a dip from G7? Okay, so if you're on G7, you're just gonna go down a fret and kind of let go with your pointer finger. You can, and then bring that finger back, or you can keep it on the instrument. You're just gonna be kind of keeping your finger on the string there. Okay, make sense? I do have some other chords at the end that I'll show you that you can dip and lift. And I'll be honest, I didn't come up with this idea. I heard other instrumentalists do this or other uke players do this, and I borrowed the idea. So it is kind of tricky. Just takes a little bit of practice, but you can literally leave your finger down. It depends on how high up your nut is. If it's really high up, you should probably just get it worked on anyway at the shop. But yeah, it can be a little tricky. All right, here we go. Baby, won't you please come home? Let's do it. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, beginning. Baby, won't you please come home? 'Cause your papa's all alone. I have tried in vain, never to more to call your name. When you left, you broke my heart, because I never thought we'd part. Every hour in the day you will hear me say, baby, won't you please come home? Daddy needs money. Baby, won't you please come home? Something like that. That work? You can always look back at the video too, the other video, and see how that works. So for the last part of the class, I'm going to show you some other chords that you can dip and lift. Now, this is not an exhaustive list, and that is why I left you some space to write in some of your own. So we're on this page. Some other chords to dip and lift. All right. Now, I did put them in order. They are in a rough order of the key that you would typically be in first. They're in chord pairs. So G6 to D7, E minor to B7, C6 to G9, and then the last two are just kind of like, here, check this out. You can move these around all over the place and get different chords. So, thank you, Maddie. Cool. So here we go. So G6, let's make that. All right. Sounds a lot like aloha. Aloha, oh, okay. And take that down to D7. Right. Very Hawaiian sound. Let's go to E minor. Boop, boop, boop. That is the 2nd fret. And then we're going to move it to the ceiling, a set of strings. Same fingers. All right. Now let's go to, let's see, the 2nd line down, C6. This is another version. We have this C6. We also have this one, fret 3. Boop, boop. So this is middle on top, ring on the 4th, on the 5th fret, and then we have 4th fret here. Okay. And then G9. And I forgot to dip the other ones. G6. D7, E minor. That was not right. B7. All right, C6. Okay, and D minor 7 is just the same thing, right? Just to give you an idea, about halfway up the neck. So cool. Thank you guys so much. I hope you got a lot out today. I went a little bit longer than I thought I would. Do you guys have questions for me? Anything uke related, anything uke or music related? I hope you guys got a lot out of today. It's an ornament. It's something that can be used. It doesn't have to be used, the dipping and lifting, but it's a fun thing to do. It's kind of like if you had a uke in your hands and you were trying to learn how to dance, but you're making the music dance while you're playing. So yeah, it's been fun working on this, and I will, starting next month, I'll give you the heads up, I'm going to be uploading all the stuff to Patreon. So this won't be necessarily free unless I'm doing a live stream, and I'll keep it on there for that live stream. But I'm going to put all that stuff on Patreon as a repository for all of these classes, I guess you could say, right? So I've had one on there for a while. I just haven't updated it, and I haven't been current and keeping that going. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much for coming today. And I look forward to next week. I don't remember what the next week's song is. I can check it out if you want. But thank you guys so much, and stay tuned for next week. We'll definitely do one. So thank you. All Nuts for Music. Thanks for sitting in the class. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye. Thanks, Karen.